Okay, we all know the deal with birthdays, right? The cake, the calls, the whole production. But what if the healthiest way to celebrate is not to celebrate at all? Let's get into the fascinating psychology behind why some people just prefer a quiet birthday.
You know the question, and always comes up. And it seems innocent enough, right? But for a lot of us, it doesn't feel like a friendly check-in. It feels like an interrogation, one that's totally loaded with social pressure.
And then you give that answer, the one that just stops the conversation dead in its tracks. Nothing, it's just another day. Suddenly, you're the weird one, the downer. Society has this script that says if you're not having a big blowout, something must be wrong with you. But what if that's not the story at all? So let's dig into the first reason people go quiet on their birthdays. And this one is powerful. It's a learned behavior. It's what happens when years of disappointment have basically trained your brain that celebrating is just not safe.
And this leads us right into a really interesting concept from psychologist Martin Seligman called learned helplessness. It sounds bad, but it's actually your brain being incredibly efficient. When you face the same negative outcome over and over again, something you can't control, your brain goes, you know what? I'm done trying. It's not weakness, not at all. It's a protective mechanism. It's your brain learning to conserve energy.
This this is basically the playbook for what's happening inside your head. It starts with hope, right? You expect to feel special, but then, for whatever reason, that expectation isn't met. Again and again. So your brain, being the smart prediction machine that it is, learns to stop anticipating that reward. That little hit of dopamine you were hoping for, it just never shows up. So eventually you stop caring. It's a brilliant defense against getting hurt.
So, the next time you hear someone say, it's just another day, really listen. That statement probably wasn't born from apathy or coldness. No, more often than not, it's a shield, a piece of emotional armor built brick by brick from the scar tissue of old disappointments. All right, let's shift gears to the second profile, because this one has nothing to do with past pain. For some people, skipping a birthday celebration isn't about scars. It's just about having way too much on their plate. It's simple cognitive overload. Psychologists have a great term for this: time blindness. When you're juggling project deadlines, family stuff, and just life, the days and weeks can honestly just blur into one. It's not a moral failure. It's a cognitive reality. Your brain literally loses its grip on the calendar. So forgetting your own birthday, it's not a sign you don't value yourself. It's a symptom that your brain is at maximum capacity. I love this analogy. Think of your brain like a web browser with like 17 tabs open at once, and every single one is flashing red, demanding your attention. Your birthday, it's just one more tab. And your brain, in an act of pure self-preservation to stop the whole system from crashing, just shoves it into the not urgent folder. It's not that you're repressing it, it's just lost in the noise of modern life. Okay, and then there's the third group, and this is a whole different level. These are the people who haven't forgotten, they're not hurt, they've just consciously decided to opt out. And this isn't avoidance, far from it. This is actually a sign of incredible psychological health. It all ties into something called self-determination theory from psychologists Ryan and Dacey. What they found is pretty profound. The most well-adjusted, psychologically healthy people are the ones who generate their happiness internally. They just don't need an external event like a party or a social ritual to feel valid or special. And this chart, it just lays it out perfectly. On one side, you've got the hedonic treadmill, the constant chase for the next high, the next party, the next milestone. On the other side, you have the liberated mind. These folks haven't stopped celebrating life. They've just stopped outsourcing their joy to one specific day on the calendar. They can find it on a random Tuesday because it comes from within.
But, and this is a big but, here's when we need to get really honest with ourselves. Because not everyone who chooses a quiet birthday is doing it from this place of enlightened strength. So it's time for a tough question.
I want you to picture something. Go back. You're 8 years old. You have been counting down the days to your birthday. You're imagining the party, the cake, everyone paying attention to you. And then the day comes, and it's quiet. The people you were so excited to see, they didn't show. The whole thing just felt smaller, sadder than the big, bright version in your head.
You didn't throw a tantrum. You didn't make a scene. You just did what a kid has to do to survive that kind of disappointment. You quietly adjusted your expectations for next year. And then the year after that, maybe you expected even less.
And there's actually a scientific reason this sticks with us. Research from Johns Hopkins calls it the anniversary effect. It shows that our brains don't just remember painful dates, our bodies can actually relive the emotion tied to them. That 8-year-old is still in there somewhere, and your body remembers, even if you don't consciously think about it.
And here's one more layer to the puzzle from psychologist Jennifer Crocker's work. It's this idea of contingencies of self-worth. Basically, if your self-esteem is all tangled up in how well a party goes, how many people show up, how much fun everyone has, then why would you even risk it? It's safer to just not have one at all. But see, that's a shield. That's not strength.
So this is the question, the real question you have to ask yourself. When you choose to have a quiet birthday, where is that choice coming from? Is it truly born of freedom, that genuine, peaceful lack of need for a big show? Or is it a quiet fear, a fear of not getting what you secretly, deep down, still hope for? Only you know the answer to that.
And all of this brings us to the real takeaway here. We're taught that a big celebration equals love, that making a fuss is how you show you care about yourself. But maybe, just maybe, we've been measuring the wrong thing this whole time.
What if the truest, most profound form of self-love isn't about throwing the party, but about the deep inner peace of not needing one to feel worthy? Maybe the goal isn't a bigger, better celebration. Maybe the goal is a state of mind where the silence on your birthday feels just as rich and fulfilling as the noise.
So if any of this at all has resonated with you, if you've ever spent a birthday on your own and felt relieved or even just fine, I really need you to hear this loud and clear. You are not broken. You're not cold. You're not difficult.
You just might belong to a quiet tribe that has found a different, more sustainable path to feeling content. And just in case no one has ever said it to you before, here's your permission. You are allowed to be whole on your birthday and on every single other day of the year.